moment in time with this contrasting experience, if you can stop beating up on yourself because you didn't get it right the first crack out of the box, if instead you can say, oh, this didn't go the way I wanted it to, but it's all right because I'm still standing here evaluating contrast. That's the peace that we're wanting you to find in this. So often, as you listen to us for a while, and you want to be deliberate creators, and you want to do the grid work, and you tried to get in the vortex, and you're trying to pay attention to the way you feel, and you're making an effort to be more the person that you want to be. And then when something that you thought you wanted doesn't turn out right now the way you wanted it to, then that second guessing starts happening. Then you start asking yourself, what did I do wrong? And if instead you can say, I didn't do anything wrong, this contrast is part of what's right. This contrast is part of the clarifying thing. It's part of the clarification that is helping me to identify more clearly what it is I do want. If we could just convince you that you want a creative plethora of opportunities to pull from. You don't want limited ones. And the contrast is just filling in the colors and the textures and the opportunities, you see. If we could zap you with something, and of course we can't, but we can know it so strongly that as you're willing to listen to us for a while, you'll begin to get it. You are in a really, really good place. You're asking really, really good questions. Your desire is really focused in a strong way. And this conversation that we've had, which was solely offered to soothe any angst you have about being in a wrong place, that's what every process that we've ever offered has always been about. To soothe your angst about any wrongness that you've done, because you're not doing anything wrong by standing in a place you don't want to stand in. When you're standing in a place you don't want to stand in, you're firing off rockets that are going to serve you. And if you can revel in the contrast and appreciate the variety, instead of condemning your lack of wisdom to be in a better place right here and right now, if we could parade before you just the masters that you have revered as a culture, every one of them would tell you, I wouldn't give up one miserable moment, because every one of them helped me become who I ultimately am. No one likes to hear, you create your own reality when things are not going well. But here is something that will really, really work for you. Let's back up just a little bit. Very often someone will say, I want to feel good, and I often do, until I look at you doing that thing that you're doing, which is keeping me from being in alignment. So you need to stop doing that thing you're doing so that I can be in alignment, which is totally giving over your power to them, because you can't control them. And they want to feel better. Don't you think they would feel better if they could? They're not doing it on purpose, you see. And so then as you begin to understand that you have the ability to stay in alignment no matter what they are doing, that you have the ability, but you got to practice it when they're not there. You got to practice it when it's easy. If you will establish your grid before you walk into that situation, then it's easier for you to maintain it. And here is a specific key that will work nearly every time. Go general. In other words, that's where people make their first mistake. You go out of the vortex and engage, recognize that you don't feel good, and then try to do something about it. So what are we saying? This is really an important conversation. This is our favorite thing that we've ever said to anyone ever. Ever, 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 ever. Don't try to fill your own grid in. That wasn't it. Our favorite thing that we've ever said ever is, when you align with the energy and the inspiration is pouring forth from you, the probability of them coming into alignment with you is much greater, because you've practiced the vibration in advance. Now here's what we're getting at. This is the statement that we so want you to take away from this gathering. If you will decide that you are going to create your own reality in advance, not in the middle of an out of the vortex moment. And you know, almost all of you are attempting to do the most of your creating in an out of the vortex moment. You wait till something goes wrong and then you say, give me a process. I got to do something. I got to get back into alignment. I got to do something. But it's too late. It's like you've jumped out of an airplane. It's at 50,000 feet. You have no parachute. What do I do? What do I do? Just give it a minute. It'll be over soon. That's what happened. And we really mean that. In other words, just write it out. Don't try to fix it, because you'll do more damage. And by more damage, that's not the word that we really want Dester to find. You'll do more practicing of a vibration that's going to come back and bite you in the... We don't want her to say that either. If you just chill, just let it play out. Don't fight it. Just let it play out. Don't try to make it a teaching moment. Don't try to make it the moment that you're valiant. Just let it happen, because the grid's already filling in. So that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. You got a grid going and it's filling in. Just live with it. But set an intention to do better grid work. Better grid work later. We've been calling that pre-paving for years. If you'll do your grid work in advance. Don't you love knowing that you have the ability to contour your vibration all day, every day into precisely that which will please you? And don't you love this cooperative universe that is showing you the components that are equaling the vibration that you've got going on? Don't you love knowing that there's no chance, there's no fate, there's no someone else pushing themselves into your experience? There's no assertion. There's no lack of control. You have complete control, because you have the ability to think and feel and watch what happens, and then think and feel and watch what happens, and then think and feel and watch what happens. It's so wonderful to be in mindful, deliberate control of your own vibration. Because things are always working out for you, no matter how it looks in any point in time. Things are always working out for you. And as soon as you acknowledge that and begin deliberately applying your ability to think and feel, and then watch the cooperative, benevolent, loving universe say, here you go, just what you ask for. Here you go, just what you ask for. Oh, didn't mean to ask for that. Well, here you go. Just what you asked for. Didn't mean to ask for that either. Well, here you go. Just what you asked for. Maybe I need to rethink this. Maybe I need to rethink it and refeel it and rethink it and refeel it and rethink it and refeel it. Here you go. Just what you asked for. Much better. Think about the difference between getting up, not meditating, not coming into alignment, not doing positive aspects, and not establishing yourself in your grid. So imagine not doing any of that. You just sort of blunder into your day. So the first thing that happens is you observe something that you really would rather not have observed. So now you're off on the wrong foot already. You're having a reaction to what's going on. And now that reaction is just happening back and forth, back and forth. And you're telling yourself, I'm not a good parent. I should be doing something different. I don't want it to be like that. You're using words to try to turn it around. It's not turning it around. It's just practicing that grid more. It's just making them feel more defensive. It's just perpetuating the very thing that you don't want. And then a wonderful thing happens. The end of the day comes and you get to go to bed. So now you go to bed, and as you lie there in your bed, do your best to appreciate the comfort of your bed. Go as general as you can. Think about the things that feel the least contentious to you and go to sleep. And when you awaken in the morning, spend some time, find the time, really. Set your alarm 15 minutes early if it requires that. But lie there with the determination that before you go out into your physical world, that you're going to establish your grid with your non-physical world. Because what will happen then is your grid will begin filling in with things that match that. Your grid will fill in with cooperative children. Your grid will fill in with cooperative traffic. Your grid will fill in with your best ideas. Your grid will fill in with you being tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Your grid will fill in with you anticipating things before they happen. Your grid will fill in with you being so energetic, meaning so on top of whatever's going on, so aware of the energy that you can say the right thing before it gets off on the wrong footing. You see what we're getting at? The cooperative components of this universe are enormous. We cannot even begin to describe the leverage of alignment. And we can't think of any subject that if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would want to apply it to more deliberately than the subject of parenting, because you don't care about anything, as we talked about before. as much as you care about that. Apply this conversation to everything, to your employee relationship, to your relationship with people in your neighborhood. Relationships, it's such an interesting thing. Most people do not tend to the only relationship that sets them in their power. Instead, they knee-jerk response to relationships all around them. And then from outside the vortex and from outside their power, try to figure out how to gain the most leverage. We are focusing energy. Because focus, and we're only going to talk for a minute and then we're going to let you talk. Focus usually sounds like zeroing in, getting more specific, and that kind of focus is really fun when you're really in the flow. In other words, the more in alignment you are, then the more focus, specific focus, really serves you. But focus, unless you're really in alignment, doesn't serve you. So then you want to focus general rather than specific. That's what this little run was about. It was about focus. But it was about finding emotional words and giving attention, which is all focusing is. Let's choose a word. Someone said fun, and that's a good one. Let's take a little softer one. Ease. Just hold the idea of ease. Ease. And when you think about ease, fill it in with other words that remind you of ease, like relax and easy and soft and gentle and what else? Trust, letting go, comfortable. Now you're focusing. You're focusing. And it seems to most people like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. But this is the work. Because you were born, you have seen, you have explored, you have experienced the contrast, you've given birth, you've put it in the vortex, it's in the vortex. Now it's time to prepare the environment that allows what's in the vortex to flow into your experience. And so start with that feeling of ease. Now, as the momentum begins coming and you stay in the flow, now you will be inspired. This is what we really want to say to you. If you can find that place of chilling that allows the stuff to start moving from the vortex into your grid, as it moves, the specific focus will be part of the process. In other words, you will be inspired to the specifics that allow the momentum to continue. It's like when you jump out of an airplane, you don't have to worry about keeping your speed up. Or when you're on an incline, you stop pedaling usually. Or you let up on the gas a bit. You get a sense of what we're talking about.
Yes.
So if you trust, that's a good word, if you trust that what you put in the vortex is there, and it is, and now you are using your focus to focus yourself into enough ease that will allow the momentum to begin. The momentum will carry the rest. And something like focus or impetus or speed is not part of the process. You don't have to keep momentum going. That's what we want to say. You don't have to keep momentum going. You just have to stop doing that thing you've been doing that slows the momentum. There. That's the answer to all things. We're done. Go home. We've enjoyed this interaction more than words can explain, and we've been way out there on the leading edge. We want to compliment you on your willingness to sit and listen to us talk incessantly about the laws of the universe and about the emotions that move through you. We know for sure that as a result of your willingness to just listen, that your vibration has been moved to a different place than it was before we had this conversation. It only takes 17 seconds of non-diluted focus in order to shift vibration, and you have been giving far more than that. 68 seconds of holding yourself in a vibration of well-being will shift your vibration, your point of attraction dramatically enough that that grid must fill in and must fill in today. So we're looking forward to the evidence that you will discover of this energy shift that has taken place as a result of this conversation.